Hello and welcome to Friday's edition of Artefacts, the show that tells you everything you need to know about Creative Arts Week. I'm Callum Daly.
And I'm Kaylee Carr.
Coming up in today's show, Richard Klein, controller of BBC4, opens Teesside Arts Week.
In the studio, we have cultural historian Zoe Hawthorne talking about reggae and racism.
And we report from Cineworld on the students' final year films. First, Teesside Creative Arts Week was opened by BBC4 controller Richard Klein, who travelled from London and back in a day to unveil a week-long celebration of student talent and Teesside University.
A range of sculptures, paintings and creative installations of modern art were on show.
Well, when I got the request or the email from Gerda, who is the Dean, I think, of Teesside here, to come and open Creative Teesside, I was delighted. I've never had a chance to do this kind of thing, and it's an honour for me. I think the chance to come along and see lots of work here in all the different places, media, multimedia, the applied arts, design and so forth, has been really enjoyable. I've gone around the building and had a look around various buildings and seen what's there, and I have to say the standard looks incredibly high. I think it looks like lots of students have worked in a creative way to find things that might have a home somewhere else. In other words, they've obviously got one eye on their creativity and one eye on actually finding work and job and application of what they've learned here elsewhere in the real world.
Absolutely.
I'm not a particularly technologically advanced person. However, I recognise the world is going multimedia. In the new world going forward, I think it will be useful to understand the multimedia world. However, I think it is still really useful to bear one thing in mind. Content, the thing that you have, the idea, that will always be king. So whatever it is that you want to do, in other words, whatever part of the multimedia world you're operating in, it's your ideas, the value that you can add to things that's really going to make things stand out.
Now we travel back in time to the 1970s to look at how music subcultures such as two-tone and punk tackled racism in British cities. With us in the studio is cultural historian Zoe Hawthorne, a third-year history student at Teesside University.
So what did you find out?
Well, the question that I was tackling was to what extent did the punk reggae and two-tone subcultures of that period tackle racism and advance race relations in Britain, and to some extent they did help to tackle racism. They certainly opened people's eyes to the discrimination that was going on all around them that they hadn't really noticed before, and it also brought people together in like a common space for them to sort of realise that a lot of the stereotypes and misconceptions were exactly that, they were unfounded. Also, it's not to say that racism is no longer an issue. I mean, it's always going to be some sort of an issue. It needs to be something that's continually tackled all the time, but it certainly did help, definitely, yeah.
Did anything surprise you?
Probably what surprised me the most was the level of racism during the period. I mean, I knew that racism in Britain during the 1970s and 80s was a lot worse than it is today. I didn't actually realise how much more worse it was. Kind of the kind of television programmes that were on, like the situation comedies, the language that people used in newspapers and things like that. It was quite an eye opener. But that was probably what I found most surprising.
Okay, so let's hear some music from that time.
Do you think that the issues from the 1970s are still present?
I think that, yes, to some extent they are still present, but it's a different kind of racism in today's society. I mean, during the 1970s, the National Front were marching, there were regularly clashes, there was a lot of racism in like new right conservative immigration policy. Just today it's become a lot more hidden, it's a lot more covert, people don't tend to sort of realise it's going on. I mean, after the Stephen Lawrence murder with the Macpherson report, it was they decided that there was institutionalised racism in British society, which basically said that yes, there is racism going on, just people are unaware of it. It's ingrained into the various institutions, into the police, into the law and order, into education in some places, and it's one of those things that, as I said before, it just needs to keep being tackled, and education, people being made aware of it so you can move forward and make things better.
So you're in your final year studying history. Where do you hope that this takes you?
Well, I'm hoping to go into PR and media and that sort of thing. Ideally, my dream sort of job probably be PR and publicity in like the music industry and stuff like that. I've got quite a bit of experience, you know, working in bands and backstage and that kind of thing, and I really enjoy that sort of stuff, so fingers crossed.
This week saw 30 employees from film, TV, marketing and other media industries coming together to take part in a one-day event to help graduates find work.
There was speed dating for journalists, speed pitching for filmmakers and a range of talks with professional careers advisors. Artifacts has this report on Mind the Map.
I hope the event has a sort of festival feel, where it's fun, but it's focused on equipping graduates with the kind of soft skills. So we've got CV workshops taking place with industry professionals. We've got a series of rotating panels involving recent graduates from Teesside University, talking about how they got their first job in, for example, the games manufacturer Lionheart, working on movies such as Harry Potter, or working in journalism in local papers and broadcasting. In addition to that, we've got various speed dating sessions where people present their CVs in time sessions. We've also got pitching sessions that take place, in addition to a series of talks about how students can create their own opportunities, taking an entrepreneurial approach to setting up either as a freelance or setting up their own business. So it's a real mix of things taking place throughout the day.
Well, Teesside is very good at engaging with employers. In my experience, we've been coming here, me personally and my colleagues and so forth, for at least the last 4 years. And I understand that that is not unique to a relationship between Teesside and Edinburgh.
I really enjoyed the morning session where I got to hear a lot of different perspectives of what different employers want. It really made me think about what I actually want to do. And just being able to talk one-on-one with people that you probably wouldn't usually get the chance to talk to.
What I was hoping to get out of today is to, you know, see what calibre of students there are, hopefully speak to them and inspire them towards wanting to come and complete a placement with us. Hopefully, ultimately we'll benefit out of it as much as they will.
What's important about events like this is to help graduates achieve soft skills, the presentation skills they need to help secure employment on graduation, how they present themselves, how they talk to employers, how they address their CV, in other words, how they can put their best foot forward so that their CV will be top of the pile when it comes to looking for work.
Meeting real industry people, you know, that's you only get so much from learning a university degree. You get the theory side of it, but actually meeting the people in the real world who know the various angles of you know, PR and journalism. They've actually been out there and they have the best kind of knowledge, and passing that on to us is just the best we could have, really.
I do think that the university's been very proactive in doing that, in engaging with days such as this, with keeping in touch with us or asking staff to come in and do talks, keeping us informed of anybody who shows a particular interest in an area or a newspaper. For example, we had some freelance shifts, so because we have a relationship with the tutors here, we were able to ring up and say I could do with some freelance cover at short notice. Are you aware of anyone who would be able to cover this area for our paper? And that was a good relationship that we had currently with the tutors here, and we ended up being able to get some freelance cover very, very quickly, which eventually led to a job for that person, so everybody was in a win-win situation on that one.
I think it's important as part of the parallel arrangement that needs to go alongside the academic world. I think it's got plus points for businesses as well as the university. I think it introduces slowly but surely into the world we live in at large. Hopefully it gives some guidance and help and ideas really to students. And you know, conversely, I think it helps business understand what's happening in academia.
What I look for is some passion, a self-starter, somebody who's not going to sit there waiting for stuff, who's going to bring in their own stuff, who's going to be coming up to the news desk saying, what am I going to do next, what have you got for me? and someone with some confidence who can, because in this job you don't know who they're going to be going speaking to. You could be speaking to the mayor, the chief constable, whatever, but they need to be able to communicate with people at all levels, so that helps if they could spell as well.
I was invited to come and take part in a speed dating style event whereby students were able to have 3 minutes of people's time, and within that time they were encouraged to present the CV, give details of work experience, history, their educational background, and also to highlight any unique selling points that are going to make them different to any other candidates who might be put before an editor or somebody. So yeah, it's been really useful, I hope, for them to actually realise how important it is for them to sell themselves, and in 3 minutes they've really been given a taste of how important that is and how quickly they need to do it and build up, and hopefully they've gained advice as to how they can better be prepared for the next time they're in that situation.
And the other thing I think is crucial is that they should make sure that anything they write down, their CV or application letters, are properly punctuated and properly spelt, and that when they turn up to interviews they look like they give a damn. They dress properly, and I'm not suggesting they turn up looking like someone from The Apprentice, but they should, look like they care. And I think that it says more about them than any number of films they might have made when they're on undergraduate courses.
I definitely recommend Teesside University. It's accredited, it's got all the accreditation with NCTJ that you need. It's got great lecturers, they really look out for you and want you to do the best you can. And it's just a really supportive atmosphere, and the modules you learn really do help for yourself in the future.
Cool. I've come to this uni to do a course I'd never had previous experience in, and it's introduced me to such a wide range of skills and interests that I am able to take on with me that I wouldn't have previously got on a different course or in a different area. So I really enjoyed my time, and people should
You might not think that gaming and charity go hand in hand, but the Awesome Gaming event has done just that. The event, organised by students, is now in its 7th year of running at the university, with the aim of having fun and raising money for charity. Sam Howard and Chris Donald went to the event.
The Awesome Gaming event, also known as the AGE, is a fundraising event organised by students. The top floor of the Students' Union was filled with screens and games consoles, with people eager to play them. I spoke to people behind the event to find out more.
So it started off in 2009, I think it was November. It was quite small, we raised about £200 or so, and now we're on to our 7th event. We've been supporting Child's Play charity, Cancer Research UK, and at the moment we're supporting Special Effects, which is a UK-based charity supporting mobility and disabled kids. In the past 3 years we've raised over £2,000 for charity. We generally get a really good response from people coming to the event. It's a way for students who generally aren't known for being that sociable, especially in the School of Computing, to come together, play a bunch of games and have fun. I feel like split-screen gaming nowadays is fairly dead with all the amount of people playing online with PCs and stuff like that. So to have something like this in Middlesbrough to raise money is absolutely fantastic.
The response is always really good. Even in the smaller event like this one at the end of the year, they're always really generous with their donations.
Why should people come? Because this is probably the biggest and best gaming event in the north, in all honesty. It's just everything you could ever want gaming-wise, all in one room. It's a good way to just chill out with your friends and play some games, really. I mean, you've got completely random people who probably don't live together, probably won't see each other more than once or twice a week there, rocking out and having a laugh.
Well, I think it's a great thing. And obviously I've signed up to the tournaments and donated money and so forth.
I like gaming, and it's a good cause, so it's doing something I love in a way that helps other people. People think games can be a very unsocial thing, but I think playing with other people is some of the best times I've ever had.
I've played a bit of Mario Party, some Streets of Rage, some Skullgirls earlier. I've just been mostly nosing about. Yeah, I'm having a great time.
With 7 events done, the organisers hope to continue putting on more and plan to have their 8th one in October.
Paint, mildew, laundry and grass. We all have certain smells that take us back. Laura Ritchie has used this to create an interactive art installation, The Smells of Memories, that combines scents with contemporary dance. Alice Hawley went to go to speak with Laura.
The Smell of Memories by Laura Ritchie was a dance piece involving 4 different distinctive smells and grass. Laundry, mildew, paint. But why smells, and why these ones?
I wanted 4 smells that everyone would kind of recognise and be familiar with. So I just kind of browsed through, and those were the ones that stuck out to me. Let it happen quite naturally, because after picking the scents, I kind of thought about a location for each one and like kind of a vague, not storyline, but like set up for what I wanted to do. And then kind of when I was at the location, I just sort of played around with what kind of felt right. That's really from the outset, I kind of wanted it to be more of like an installation rather than a performance. Obviously, because there were videos as well. It wasn't really like a live performance. So the 4 rooms were kind of, I wanted the audience to be able to like walk in and out of like whatever room they wanted. So it wasn't an order or anything. So kind of they had their own little experience rather than a set like being walked around a performance or something. So they could take it at their own pace. I really want to work with kind of technology and performance and kind of new media and how that can be like integrated into dance and performance. That's what really interests me.
We take a trip to the red carpet now and join our media students who premiered their final year work at the Cineworld in Middlesbrough. Joining them was our glamorous reporter Alice Hawley to tell us more.
A night of glitz and glamour for Teesside film students as they premiere their films as part of Teesside Arts Week.
Our film is called Needs. It's obviously a second year film, and we're very honoured to have it here at the Media Gala screening event here at Cineworld. And hopefully we'll do well.
So our film basically is just about how people perceive towards other people and how we judge people.
It's all about human perception and how we judge people based on our human relationships and how we interact with each other as humans.
Just tell me how it feels.
Incredible. I wasn't expecting it at all. I think I'm still shaking from it. When I was sitting there waiting for the feedback after hearing sort of everyone else's, I was like, oh my god, it's going to be really bad. But actually it was alright.
Do you think feedback was fair?
I think, yeah, of course they're professionals, so you've got to eventually learn to get feedback like that. You can't just be listening to lecturers all the time going, yeah, you're fantastic, because it's not always like that, so yeah.
Have you had a good time in the course?
Yeah, it has. It's been emotional. But no, I think it's been a really good fun 3 years, and I can't believe I've got to go and get a job now.
Have you got anything nice to say about sort of the staff and the facility?
I think all the staff have been fantastic. I think we're really lucky on TV and film to have everyone. I know that they've helped out like loads of people from various different things, getting work experience and helping on the projects and everything like that. It's been brilliant. I think all the staff in Aurora as well, it's like a second home in there, so they can do anything. So it's been really good.
Summer seems to have finally arrived, so here to tell us if it's barbecues or brollies, here's Sasha with the weather.
Hi guys, it's time to fetch those summer shorts and summer dresses from the back of the wardrobe, as you can see, the warm weather has stuck around on campus. With high temperatures of around 20 degrees this afternoon, there will be no cloud around. In the evening, we'll see high temperatures of 13 degrees. The weekend poses a perfect barbecue opportunity with high temperatures of 16 and 17 degrees, and again, no cloud on the horizon. Apart from a sunny 21 degrees on Monday, next week, unfortunately, the dreaded cloud will creep in across Teesside. There will be a wind speed of 7 miles per hour, but there will still be an impressive temperature of 17 degrees.
That's all we've got time for today. Our thanks to Zoe for coming today. Join us next time on Artifacts.